Today's piece is by Eva-Maria Houben. It's called Calm, Silence, Solitude, and it's for solo piccolo. 2005, catalog number 16.058. For Anne Horstman, listening to Hector Berlioz. Anne Horstman being a flautist. Begin either with 1 or with 2. 1 and 2 back and forth, conclude with either 1 or with 2. Then we have page labeled 1. Begin anywhere, play one line after another, finish anywhere at the end of a line. The end of a line, go to 2. One sound on a fill-in note head, or several sounds on one quiet breath. One air sound on a diamond note head, or several sounds on one quiet breath. Break to take breath, a short pause between the lines, and while changing from 1 to 2 or from 2 to 1, there either is a break to breath or breathe, or it remains silent for a moment. On the whole, soft and silent. And then at the end of the score, we have some performance notes labeled 2, and it says sounds may be omitted or repeated. You may read to and fro, move freely between A, B, and C. Anytime you may return to 1. Arrows mean a bit higher or a bit lower between the sounds, and while changing from 1 to 2 or 2 to 1, if there is a break to if there's either is a break to breathe or a short stop. So yeah, I guess the manner of playing that categorizes these notes too, it's broken up into A, B, and C. A is multiphonics, 1 multiphonic per note. B is tongue pizzicato, and C is whistle tones. So yeah, I guess the first mode of playing is just like normal playing or air sounds, and it's designated by the note head. And then the second mode of playing is 3 other playing methods, which you sort of freely alternate between. And I guess it's open to the performer. Like maybe you change from mannerism 1 to mannerism 2 every line, every once in a while, every page, you know. Here's what the notation looks like if you're curious. Everything has an open tie. Occasionally you get these check marks, which we saw in our last Houben episode. They indicate pauses, basically. So in this case, moments to breathe. The piece is around 40 something pages or 36 pages, and it's over 30 minutes long, the recording. So I think a typical performance, you're spending about a minute on each page. If you're interested in this composer, Eva-Maria Houben, I would go to the previous episode we did on her. We looked at one of her organ pieces, I think. A link to this piece is in the video description. It'll be to the Bandcamp recording here. And it's part of a larger album of works for solo flute. So if you're interested, you can support the artist by buying this CD. It's about 15 euros. I think I know what I'm in for more or less here. If this really interests you, I would highly encourage you to also look into this record label, Wandelweiser Records, and also the larger collective of composers that is Wandelweiser. And yeah, let's get into this one since it's quite an undertaking here. Okay, so yeah, it's an interesting listen. Kind of difficult to kind of difficult to follow along with the score because I think the performer is able to freely jump between lines as they wish, but it's definitely broken up into these phrases of music. Um, I think the score is more useful for a performer than a listener. Kind of isn't really meant for listening with. And I think a lot of the interesting things of the piece are more like from the performance's perspective. I guess listening to it is interesting too, but I think it's really more meant to be experienced as a performer. Yeah, I liked it sticks to the lower octave of the piccolo, actually like the lowest sixth, really. I don't think it gets above that B very much. So it's a really uncharacteristic register of the piccolo. It's really interesting register of the piccolo to explore. And of course, when you do whistle tones and all of the multiphonics in this, I believe, were overblown. When you do all those more timbral effects, it's like accesses the higher register of the instrument. Um, but yeah, because it's a piccolo, nothing really goes below that D5. So it's a very constrained kind of listening experience, I would say, but also very intimate and sort of like, I don't know, a lot of the like air sounds and more delicate sounds, where you could almost hear like little bird songs or things in them. Really kind of interesting. Some similar sounds to the Corey Reader piece we looked at yesterday. Here's that episode if you want to compare, but like a completely different approach to notation and interfacing with the performer, right? This is like way more open, way more free. Yeah, of course, it still requires certain familiarity with the composer's style to know how to play it, but um, the the score at least gives the illusion that it's like very free and minimalistic. So yeah, tomorrow we are well, maybe not tomorrow, but the next episode we will be finishing the series with a piece by Javier Torres Maldonado, and that's a solo piece, but it's a multi-movement work for piccolo, flute, bass flute, one player. I think will be a really nice way to finish our flute series. And yeah, that's that.